All right, at this time, we're joined by Virginia student athletes Anthony Gill, Malcolm Brogdon, and London Perantes. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you. Start in the front row.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch, and this is not quite a basketball question. I don't know if you guys probably don't read Vogue magazine, but I don't know if you're aware that yesterday an article came out saying that Coach Bennett is the George Clooney of the NCAA tournament. Just wonder what your guys' reaction to that might be.
Anthony, want to handle that one?
I don't have a comment on that one. I'll let Malcolm handle it.
I don't have a comment either. I didn't see any article, but you got it.
I did not read that article either. So I think AG should handle this one.
Thank you.
Stay in the front.
Can you guys, Anthony in particular, can you just address how often do you think back on the past NCAA tournament losses? I know going into this year, you talked about the motivation you take from it. On a daily basis, do you think back to that stuff, or is it now behind you? And how much did that fuel you guys this year?
You know, we think about it every now and then. You know, just knowing, going into the tournament, knowing that you can be out at any moment. That's really the only time we really think about it. You know, just going back and looking at the mentality that we had coming into the tournament last year and the mentality that we have this year coming into the tournament is totally different. And I think we're in a better place this year.
What's changed?
Just the way we approach it. You know, this year we're going after it, we're attacking it. Whereas last year we kind of just sat back and let it kind of come to us. We didn't really go after it like we needed to.
Go on the aisle on the left.
Todd Douglas from the Washington Times. Malcolm and Anthony, do you remember when you guys first met each other, and what were the circumstances, and what do you recall making of the other guy when you first got to know him? What'd you think of him?
Malcolm, want to handle that first?
Yeah, I remember meeting AG. He was on a official visit here. I think it was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year. I just remember him being a very playful guy, but very serious, very determined. He reminded me a lot of myself. And then once we got on the court, I realized, you know, how hard he worked and his work ethic. And I realized, you know, his talent, with his work ethic and leadership, he'd be able to help us take this program to another level. So, you know, we've always been great friends off the court, and on the court, you know, we're great teammates as well.
Anthony?
I'll take it back a little further for me and Malcolm. I actually met him at an all-star game in Florida in high school, and that was pretty much where we met then, and I could sort of help raise him from that point on. But you know, me and Malcolm, we have a great bond, and as well as London. You know, all of our guys on our team were like brothers. So you know, we just love each other, and it's just a chemistry thing that we have and we love.
Go second row.
Doug Daddy from the Roanoke Times. Anthony, where do the wedding plans stand right now?
I did three things. I picked out my groomsmen, I tasted the cake, and I picked the shoes that I was going to wear. And that's about it. And then I know I get married on April 8th, so then I'll be there.
We'll go third row.
Zach Rosillo, New York Post. Malcolm, are your plans to try to go to the NBA after this year, or do you want to do other things? I know you obviously have a lot of interest beyond basketball.
I want to play in the NBA.
Go on the aisle on the left.
Yes, hi, Steve Leventhal, SRN Broadcasting. Guys, tell me about the caliber of play in the ACC this season and how it has prepared you to be at the tournament and be at, you know, this stage of the tournament, top seed, so forth in the number.
London, you want to take that?
I think it's huge to be able to go in night in and night out during the ACC regular season and to be able to play all the good teams night in and night out. It's definitely helped us, and to have 6 ACC teams in the Sweet 16 right now is huge, and it goes to show that we can play with anybody, and we're just trying to take that confidence into the games that we have tomorrow. So,
Go in the front row.
London, Paul Woody from the Times-Dispatch. You have started almost every game since you've been at UVA. You appear to be completely unflappable. Is that a matter of California cool, or is that the way you've always been? And if the other players don't mind addressing what London's like as a point guard as well.
I think it's just how I've been since I started playing basketball. I've always been taught to just be level-headed, be even keeled, and play the way you want to play, and don't let anybody change that.
Malcolm?
Yeah, I can't say if it's Cali cool or how he's been raised to play, but I know that's how he is and that's who he is on the court. You know, he provides that composure for us when things get a little rowdy. He's our primary ball handler, and when you're the primary ball handler, you want to be composed. You want to be poised in times of chaos or up and down. So, you know, he's been a great point guard for me and for my teammates while I've been here, and you know, I'm excited to see what we can do going down the stretch.
Stay in the front row.
Malcolm, I know you've said you'll reflect on some of the accomplishments, you know, when the season's over and Player of the Year and all that, but do you have a sense that if you guys don't advance further in this tournament, that your career will have come up short? Do you look at it in those terms?
No, honestly, I'm not even thinking about it in that regard. I'm thinking about trying to lead, trying to have this team advance as far as we can go. That's really where my mindset is right now.
Go in the back, Shannon.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. I had one player tell me that the way that you guys play, it sort of lulls the other team to sleep. It's almost like their rhythm is kind of thrown off by what you guys do. How much can you guys sense that pulse? How much can you guys sense when your rhythm of trying to slow things down affects the other guys?
Anthony, you want to take that?
Yeah, I think that's something we pride ourselves on. You know, we really try to impose our will on the other team and make them play the game that we want to play. You know, defensively and offensively. Our offense is designed to make the other team work on defense. And it's just something that most teams can't keep up with throughout the whole game. And that's a credit to Coach Bennett and the way he's established this program and got us running the offense the way we do.
Go on the left side.
Ava Wallace for the Washington Post. You guys have faced scorers like Blossom Game and Kat Barber throughout league play. Does that make preparing for a player like George Niang any better, any easier, since you have that kind of experience to pull from? Do you know a little bit more to expect, or is he on a different kind of plane?
Malcolm, you want to take that?
He's a special player for sure. You know, he's one of the great college players of this year, and he presents his own challenge for sure. Blossom Game is probably the closest thing we've played to him, but still their games are very distinct. But you know, it's going to be a team effort, and that's what our strength is. It's team defense. It's playing the pack line as a team, and you know, we've been able to frustrate most of everybody who we've played, and hopefully we can do the same tomorrow night.
On the left side, third row.
Malcolm, Dennis Carter, WSCT in Lynchburg. The last time Virginia made it to the Elite Eight, 1995, can you put into words just how special, how big of an accomplishment this would be if you guys can win this game and advance to the Elite Eight?
It'd be a huge accomplishment. You know, it'd be very exciting for the team, for the coaching staff, for our university, for Charlottesville. But you know, I'm not sure that's something that can be put into words until we get it done. You know, we got to go out. We got to be focused from the first 20 minutes of tomorrow night's game. So we got to go out and get it done.
Go in the middle.
Zach Brazil, New York Post. Malcolm, what made you come back this year? You know, for your graduate senior year, was there? Could you kind of take us through the whole process, and what was the thing that made you want to come back?
I felt like, you know, I talked to Coach Bennett, and we sat down and had a conversation, and it really struck me when he said I could have it all. I could, you know, finish my legacy here. I could do something special with my teammates one last year, and I could also get my master's degree and just finish what I started. And I'm a guy that's all about, you know, not trying to take the easy way out or get out of things too early. I want to finish out. I want to finish what I start, and that's what I want to do.
Follow up on that. Have it all. Is that you probably feel like you still have stuff missing? I mean, if it ends tomorrow night, do you feel like there's things left for you to accomplish? I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think there are things more that me and my team could have accomplished. But honestly, if that's the case, then it wasn't meant to be. Then God had a different plan for me and my teammates. That's really how I see it.
We go second row.
Yeah, London, you guys don't come across as a bunch of basketball junkies who stay up all night watching other games. How much have you seen Iowa State over the course of the year? Do you know much about them?
I've seen
Or
a lot.
before now?
I've actually seen a lot of them. I actually do watch a lot of basketball. I kind of am a basketball junkie. But I've seen a lot of Iowa State. First 10 seconds offensively, they want to get up some quick shots. Anybody can push the ball up the floor from the yang to the point. Offensively, they have a lot of firepower, but our defense is what we pride ourselves on. So, good defense versus good offense, and that's what we want. That's what we're gonna go for.
Time for 2 more questions. Go in the front row.
For London and Malcolm, Anthony sometimes tells us stories that are maybe not completely true.
Outrageous stories.
It happens. Does he do that to you guys? And if either of you could recount a prank or something he told you that you fell for and found out later?
Well, if y'all are talking about the onion story with Malcolm, that's true. So that's not a fable. But the magic, I don't know if I heard that one. But it's probably true too. But he's definitely told us a lot of stories. But that's just his character. He's always trying to be lighthearted. And we love him for that. Although it can be outrageous, but that's just him. So,
Time for one last question.
First to Anthony, but then to Malcolm. Anthony, you're a lighthearted guy, and you seem to be a pop culture guy. If there was someone who was going to be compared to George Clooney in this tournament, would it be Coach Bennett?
I'm not sure. If anybody, I would say if somebody was going to play my life in a movie, if that's what you were asking me, which that's what I got out of it, I would pretty much go with Denzel Washington, Will Smith, and any other mainstream actor that girls love. That's probably who would play me in a film.
Malcolm, you had a broken foot that kept you out for a year. Very difficult time for you. Hey, looking back, was it an advantage now?
I think so. I think that was a blessing in disguise for me. I had great support from my family, from my coaches, from my teammates. And, I worked extremely hard to get back and, really turn that into a blessing and really have success from it.
All right, gentlemen, that's all the time we've got. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. All right, joined by Virginia head coach Tony Bennett. We will start off with questions for Coach. Reminder, please identify yourself if you have a question. Go on the aisle.
Hey, Tony, Dan Wolkin from USA Today. There's always kind of this push and pull discussion about, in a one and done tournament, is that how teams or coaches should be judged? How do you reconcile it when you guys have accomplished so much, yet you haven't gone as far in the tournament? Does it feel like there's something missing, or that that you haven't fulfilled what you should have, given where you've been seated and what you've done in the regular season the last few years?
Yeah, I told our guys, and I think that nothing can take away the success that they've had for the amount of time for this group of seniors, especially for the years, what they've established with conference championships and the regular season, and even one in the ACC tournament. I think that's a test. Then you come to this, and I think it's both and. You want to do well. What a finishing piece for this group to advance. This is our second Sweet 16 in 3 years. We won a game last year, but of course, what a desire for us to advance past that. That's also the goal, but I think they're both very important, but I don't think there's not any value in what you do during the regular season in 30-plus games and in leagues like we're in. I think that's tremendous value, and that's the test, but of course this is important. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think it's a both and is what I'm getting at.
Go in the back to Shannon. Good. Front row.
Tony, Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Was your last pro game against the Bulls, and if it was it here? And
Yep.
and what do you recall about the game, and what was it like leaving the court after that?
Yeah. Well, this is one funny story. I remember playing in the Chicago Stadium, and one of the first times getting to play against Michael Jordan. But I think it was our second time there, and a gentleman came up and he gave me this great picture of myself and Michael Jordan. It was an action shot. We were just in the frame. And he's like, "You're going to want this someday." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And I remember looking at it, thinking it was cool. But I left it in the locker, and we got on the bus, and I remember we're pulling away, and I was thinking, I'll get a bunch more of those, no big deal. And I always regret that, because I don't have a great picture of Michael Jordan and I, and playing against him here and in Chicago Stadium. Those are my memories that are phenomenal. Obviously playing against the best, but that was the last game of my pro career. I remember making a couple threes. I can't remember exactly, but this is such a great arena. I've coached here with as an assistant with Wisconsin in the Big Ten tournaments, and again, great memories. And it's, when you grow up in the Midwest and the era I did, watching Michael Jordan build something here and being in this building is obviously memorable.
Did you know that was your last game?
Did I know that? No, because I thought I'd still play. I suffered some injuries after that and never returned. That was at the end of my third year.
Stay in the front row.
Tony, Mike Barber, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Some teams are very hung up on their past tournament failures. They talk about it. They use it as motivation. Other teams kind of bury it, and a new year is a new year. You've had more of that new year is a new year message, but do you think the guys that is something that drives them, that they feel like they've come up short?
Yeah, I think experiences, you have to use that. It's a great teacher. And again, last year, playing Michigan State in the round of 32 and, getting outplayed against a tough team, that makes you hungry to, if we're fortunate enough to get to that spot again, to try to advance. And again, 2 years ago, we went against Michigan State again, played a heck of a game in the Sweet 16, and Michigan State got the better. So as I said, the ability to, doesn't take away what's been built, what's been established, all those games before, but it's an opportunity to be at this spot and take the next step. And that's exciting and that's challenging. And again, you use the experience from the past, of course, but you don't dwell on it. It's you're in the moment. And anybody will tell you that. It's about locking in, but using what you learned.
Go to the second row.
Doug Dowdy from the Roanoke Times. Tony, when you look at all the players that you've lost, the talented players you've lost off the last two teams, does that speak to how much this team has maximized its potential?
They've done a terrific job. I remember when we were 2-3 in the ACC and had lost some tough games. I remember thinking to myself, I just want them, and I've told you this in games, just to, whatever that line is for them, I want them to get to it to reach their full potential. That was my desire. If that's good enough to put us into the NCAA tournament, then great. If it's good enough to go beyond, I just wanted them to maximize. So at that point, looking back and seeing how different guys have improved and our main guys have become more efficient and better, that part is gratifying to see that. And now you come into this game, and it's another opportunity to have to be at your best, obviously, to advance. But from that point on to where it is, I think they've done a terrific job of, maximizing or getting a lot out of that potential collectively and individually.
Go on the aisle on the left. Second row.
Hi, Dave Waldstein, New York Times. Tony, Matt Thomas was talking about how close he came to going to Virginia, and could you just talk about that process and of recruiting him, and also keeping an eye on him over the last few years?
Yeah, really wanted Matt. He, being from Wisconsin and him being there, he's a terrific player. Again, represented all what we try to get in student athletes at Virginia, just the character, his competitiveness, his completeness as a player. They did a great job with him at Iowa State. I think the distance was somewhat of a factor, but always pulled for him, hoped that he would have ended up at Virginia, but have seen him really improve. And then obviously watching film and seeing how he's become a heck of a player, I certainly respect that. But that's recruited so many good players, but he really fit what we were trying to do, and we put our best foot forward to try to get him and weren't good enough for it. So
Stay on the left in front row.
Whitey Reed with the Daily Progress in Charlottesville. Tony, the phrase imposing your will gets kind of used a lot in sports, but in this game, teams with two such contrasting styles, do you think it really will boil down to that?
Well, I think you're not going to reinvent yourself at this stage, and I told our guys it's going to have to be our best against their best. Is that Siri for you there or not? Should get a question for you? Are you going for it? So the ability, I think, to be at your best. They're terrific offensively. They're so efficient. How they can score, how they can stretch you with their balance, with kneeing. Everybody talks about that, but we're going to have to be really good at what we do, and try not to yield, and of course make them earn everything and be as efficient as we can offensively. And of course, they're going to try to do their thing. So that's always at stake when you start the game and you just battle away and, your system, your style, and there has to be some freedom to make plays, all that stuff. But they're one of the best offensive teams I've seen for sure.
Stay on the left side, third row.
Hey, Coach. Dennis Carter, WSCT in Lynchburg. I'm sure you've seen a lot of George Niang. What makes him so dominating, and who do you compare him with that Virginia has played this year?
He's a triple threat player. His ability he'll sometimes lead the break in transition. He'll shoot the three, 39%, I think in Big 12 play. Puts it on the floor. Terrific passer, driver. He's so gifted offensively, and he's good with his fakes. Real smart, real competitive. Good size too. We've played some really good four. He mostly plays the four, sometimes the five, but no one quite like him. He's unique. The game against Butler, a different version, number 45, Andrew, and I don't want to get his name wrong. Anybody got it for me? Kravis. What is it? All right, close. They didn't see there's difference, but he was really good. He could shoot the three, he could pass, he could spin. Ingram for Duke, Blossomgame for Clemson, Lede for Virginia Tech. Those are some really good foremen that can go inside out. He has this innate ability to find people with his passing and then create baskets from different spots on the floor. Posting or putting shooting the three. So that obviously puts pressure on your defense, and those are challenges to us. So we're going to have to be at our best with that. But he's gifted.
On the aisle. Go ahead.
Coach Randy Peterson from the Des Moines Register. In talking to TJ this afternoon, he said that you were kind of his idol when he was growing up as a kid. Can you go back over your history with TJ?
Yeah, I paid him some money to say that, so it looks good, right? No, TJ Otzelberger, who obviously has had a big part in Iowa State's success in the recruiting and getting a lot of these players. He's from Wisconsin. He used to, I'm getting old now, I'm 46, so he used to watch me when I played and followed my father's teams at Green Bay, and then when he was the coach at Wisconsin, and just have always stayed in touch. And he was so eager to get in the business, and just whether it was through a letter or conversation, seeing him, we just would communicate that way. And even when I was at Washington State, we had always stayed in touch. So I've always followed his career and consider him a friend, and have been so impressed with the job he's done, and obviously his part with Coach Hoiberg and obviously Coach Prohm as far as what they've built at Iowa State.
Go in the front row.
Coach Paul Woody again, showing that there's no limit to questions I might ask here. There was an article posted on the Vogue website yesterday comparing you to saying you were the George Clooney of the NCAA tournament. Just wondered what you might have thought about that and what your wife might think about that.
I heard you're the Anderson Cooper of journalism.
I'm working on it.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't read the article. I don't know. Someone sent me a text and was messing with me and said they're about to puke. That's what they said. So when they saw the article, they were kind of teasing me. It was our tennis coach, actually, Brian Poland. So he's always twisting the knife. But I didn't read it. No. Yeah. So I didn't read it and not interested in reading it, really.
Go second row.
On a related subject, Anthony, I don't know, I want to know whether you heard Anthony say that he gave us a list of actors who could play him in a movie.
Yeah.
Could you talk about just what he's brought from, the guys, London described him as outrageous, and he's been described as a goofball, but what, has it helped to have a guy like him who can kind of lighten the mood?
Yeah. There's I think of the word joy in the journey with him, and he has great joy inside of his heart and just in his being, what he represents. I know he draws that a lot from just his perspective. He's a strong man of faith, and that encourages me to see that. You know, he's getting married real soon, but he loves life, and there's great joy. And I've seen him have some, you know, hard times, but how he responds to that. And I love that about him, and that overflows to his teammates and to his coaches. I'll be honest with you, when you see people who love life like that, who have a true joy about them, who have a peace and a perspective, to me that kind of passes understanding in some ways, and I love that, and I think it's great. I've seen him be a mentor and influence our younger players, his peers, and you know, of course we all have flaws, but that's such a powerful thing. And you know, I'm the better for getting to work with him, for coach him on the floor for 3 years, but be with him for 4 years in his year he sat out. And again, we talk about Malcolm so much, who represents what's right, but there's a lot of stories like that on our team and other teams. And that's the best stuff about coaching, the relationships and the influence and the impact that you see them have that maybe the outside world doesn't. And I'll cherish that regardless of how this plays out.
Go on the left side, second row.
Tony, your second half offensive numbers are really good. Do you like to have if you had your choice, would you rather have your team shooting in front of the bench in the second half or defending?
Oh, I guess I think it's almost always, they're always on offense. I don't know, unless a home team changes it, but I guess just that's what I'm used to. So I think there's probably advantages to both things. You can communicate, and you know, the bench is there so they get their encouragement, whether, you know, in the first half, hopefully defensively, but I don't know if I have a preference.
Got time for one more question in the front row.
Sorry, to go back to Anthony, he sometimes tells us tall tales and stories that maybe aren't exactly true.
Yeah.
Does he do that with you guys? Does he ever start telling you an anecdote and you have to pause and think, is he just making this up?
Not really. I mean, you know, he likes to just have fun and screw around a little bit, but he's respectful too. I mean, he's not like that, but he again, he just enjoys and doesn't take himself too seriously.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.